Last time on the Strings of Fate podcast. But the situation we're in is a bit helpless. We want out of the merriment, which is not something that anyone has done since her, and points towards Orion. I completed an impossible task for the Ferryman, and they gave me one favor, which was, in my case, removing myself from the merriment. But that sort of thing isn't easily handed out. Usually comes with some impossible task.
There's a snag race tournament going on that we heard about from Geronimo Johnson, the snag racer. Word on the street is that the winner gets a favor from the Ferryman.
I don't mean to be technical, but it's not the snail that would kill you, though they are surprisingly dangerous, and with enough speed can break bones or completely demolish someone if they're in the track. But snag racing is not just a driver on the back of a snail, it's the efforts of a team. I will show you what a snag race is like. If you still want to go through with it after that, then we can. And since no one here but me can drive, I'll put on my helmet one more time.
Holy shit.
We soar above a forest of pastel trees, a winding wood of vibrant plant life recreated in the image of a place far from our own. A market lies nearby, a playground of debauchery and delights from across the realm. And overshadowing it, an enormous structure rises from the witchwood, staking its claim to a forest clearing. Pale purple marble carved with painstaking detail into whimsical design. A coliseum that stretches into pink and baby blue clouds and tears into purple sky with what looks to be antennas spaced on equal distance around the edge of the top of the arena. The familiar market sounds become even more raucous, the cries of street vendors peddling sweet and greasy finger food to entertain a voraciously hungry clientele. A crowd buzzing with excitement, filtering through the marble archways into atriums full of champions that had once bested the best of the best within these hollowed walls. We see statues of flamboyantly outfitted warriors posed next to sculpted Salankari of differing shapes, sizes, and design. And we fly through those halls, and we see an open-air auditorium filled to the brim with marble seating, tiered all the way down from the top for maximum capacity. They all surround one long strip of land, a straight road that begins and ends with large marble apertures. Chatters and cheers ring into the air, excitement for the upcoming preliminaries. excitement for who will make their way to the final race. Rumors pervade the crowd, tell of a legendary champion making his way back for one final race against those who advance today. The air is thick with sickeningly sweet confectionery scents, mixed with pungent and potent alcohols sloshing onto stands and disgruntled patrons. The people here are gathered to see the blood and slime from which challengers to the champion's throne will emerge. But we find ourselves in that entranceway, that marble hall, the collective heartbeat of nervousness and excitement in the air. We see at the foot of a sculpture, a sun elf looks upward at his visage immortalized in chiseled stone, next to a lightning-covered Salankari.
Statue.
You all see DeVille just kind of hand on his hip, looking upward at this enormous statue of what looks to be him. Maybe a little younger and a little wilder looking.
Is that...
I really want to talk about it.
I think that's you.
I didn't realize that they had one made.
You look great.
It's so tall.
Is it life size?
DeVille looks at you.
Adar also looks at you like...
I mean, it feels pretty tall. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's life size. He says he stands next to it. It's like it's a good probably like a couple 2 feet larger than he is. He's just like, I didn't think my chin was that pointy, but
No, it is.
Oh, he starts feeling his chin as the other people with you, which is just Dresden and Auna, are sort of standing nearby, looking onward, taking a look around the crowd.
Is there anybody there who's like, you know how like when you go to theme parks and they have like the person who's like taking pictures of you? And
Photo pass?
Yeah, there's certainly, there's some people that are there and they're kind of stopping people. It's like, hey, can I get a picture to celebrate this?
Hey, can we get a picture over here?
No, I'm alright.
Hey,
Yeah,
come on.
all of us are getting in the
Let's
picture.
get the happy crowd together.
No,
All right,
goddamn.
gather
We wanna
in,
get
gather in.
We want to get in front of the statue of the Lightning Starsong.
I don't want to be in this
Sure.
picture.
Oh, wait, you see that this photo person, I had to think of the colors. They're wearing like kind of like a fake racing jumpsuit, if that makes sense. And they have like, these headphone type things on, but like the earmuffs are shells, basically.
Oh, cool.
And you know,
I like it.
he's just kind of walking around. The Coliseum has also got this like light purple kind of design to the jumpsuits themselves. And it's like, all right, everyone gather
No, that
around.
won't be necessary.
I
I'm
said
sure
just get in the picture.
Just humor him, Vincent. It's alright. Just one.
We want to
Just
commemorate
once.
such
Fine.
such a great day for snag racing.
It's not every day that you get Lightning Starsong in front of Lightning Starsong statue.
Oh my god. Why do you have to make it a
Guy's
scene
jaw
every time,
drops.
Azram?
Oh my god. This is huge. I wait, hold on. I insist on taking your photo. Please, let me get this. I need to immortalize this moment.
Everyone smile.
Can we all
He's-
get in?
Yeah, you see that the device that he kind of pulls up is kind of akin, I guess, in our world to like a smaller version of like those old timey cameras with the
Yeah.
weird accordion look to it.
The ones where they have to like get
yeah,
under
yeah.
those
Under the
sheets.
sheet.
Yeah, but
it's like
this-
1800s
yeah.
with a flash. I
Exactly.
wish I
This
knew what the name
one's
of it
a little
was.
bit different, in which it doesn't have to be that big a setup. It just kind of goes like squeezes the little tube and just like there's this bright flash of light, and then little. As I was just-
Aww, the
that's
only
wonderful.
picture of us ever. Oh my god, there's a picture.
Yeah,
of
there's a
us.
picture now of you in front of a statue of Lightning Starsong. As he kind of hands you the photo, you look in this photo, and you can see that DeVille is just like scared looking. He's like looks terrified. Auna is completely like looking at like the wrong way, and Dresden's like thumbs up next to DeVille and like pointing up at the statue.
Azram's doing the same thing as Dresden on the other side.
Vincent's got his arms crossed. He looks so angry.
Lidor's trying to get Auna to look at the camera.
Yeah, Auda's like looking like away. He's like, what's going on?
This is the best picture I've ever thought of.
It's like, I think this
This is amazing.
Azram on either side.
we got a copy for ourselves. We're gonna go ahead and, if you don't mind, put it up on our little wall of fame. You know, we have like when celebrities come by, we can post it up.
I bet Mr. Starsong might even sign it.
What? Why would you bet? I'm right here. It's like, I mean,
I'm
would
his
you?
agent.
What? as the photo person's like, would you? Fine, give it. Come here. Here, please. Now, please. We have a lot to discuss. If you would, as DeVille kind of shepherds you all the way. He's like, all right, listen. I got caught off guard by the fact that this place looks a lot more different than I remember it being. It's been, you must realize, a couple decades since I've set foot inside of this Coliseum. I didn't realize that they would have built something like that.
Yeah, technology's really gone crazy in that time.
I wouldn't even have reference for... Listen. We gotta focus, right? This is our day to demonstrate what snag racing is to all of you. To allow you to see what the race looks like. And thankfully, with the strings that, thankfully I have attached to my name still, I was able to procure us A seat for the preliminaries, and B, a shot in the final. This is quite big, you must realize. And we are slowly approaching the point in which we cannot back out of this.
I mean, do you want to back out of it?
Slightly. I don't think I'm quite ready to hop back in the saddle, as it were, but if this is the only way to help Lidar's friends, then, or the easiest way, then I prefer we do that instead of risking an all-out war with. And he kind of looks around and, looks around at the figures in porcelain masks that are stationed.
Oh my god, are they here?
Yeah, they're definitely here. They're along, stationed next to the wall, stationed at the entrance, just kind of hands behind their back, looking onward, without starting a war with them.
I agree. So let's get our snag race info sesh.
Are there any you know how like concession stands or something like that?
Do they have popcorn?
Absolutely. At the outside of the area, and I'm gonna kind of sit down and explain to you like where you can go once this opens up a little bit. But around this area, there's more like official concession stand where people are selling like, vibrantly purple popcorn and funnel cakes and refreshments and ale in these kind of very nice marble flagons kind of. Damn. And just people are lining up to get their concessions, to get their food, laughing to themselves to get their alcohol as they are all filing through the hallways to try and get to a seat, with people in those jumpsuits working the concession stands, checking for tickets, etc. The crowd is vibrant today, and no one's really noticed DeVille as he's kind of kept a cloak up and is not wearing anything that would indicate that he's Lightning Starsong.
We're amongst a celebrity.
Right, that's not the case. It's just...
They literally have a statue of you, so... Yeah,
I didn't ask for this one. I didn't ask for
this
that.
one?
That's not what I meant.
Are there multiple?
Are there multiple?
There's not
Look me in the eyes.
Everyone had a little statue of themselves. I thought it would be cool to have one as well. It didn't come out very well, so I don't talk about it.
Where is it?
Back in Zinniath.
I want
Can't
it.
wait to see it.
You can't have it. It's mine. I commissioned it.
Fine.
Anybody want any? Anybody want any drinks?
Go get some popcorn.
Anyone want any
Vincent walks away.
drinks or snacks?
I will help carry food. Let's go get food. And said, okay, just don't be late. We we need to be up to meet our contact to get to the VIP room so that we can view the race.
All right, yep, got it.
Will you give me a pretzel?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Do you want a drink?
Sure.
Kind of
I'll surprise you.
Vincent, Ladara, and Auna, all you split off and you make your way to a concession stand, waiting in line. You can hear like the pop, 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 pop of a stove where they're just like laboring over popcorn. These people in these jumpsuits, they're just quickly pushing out concessions to people who are ordering. There's like a huge line of people, as well as pouring drinks into commemorative little cups and such. You can get like a wooden one, or you could get the nice one that looks like a Colosseum pillar and that sort of thing with a little snail crawling on the side. Eventually, at the front of the concession stand, there is this like enormous, like orcish man who's got like long, like all this hair like tied back in like a hairnet. He's wearing the jumpsuit. He's like this towering figure, and he looks at you all and says, "Welcome to the Merryman Arena for Snag Racing." And then you hear someone says, "That's not what it's called. Sorry, boss. Can I take your order?"
Sure. So, just a pretzel and popcorn?
Yeah.
A pretzel. Okay. What size would you want for the? And he kind of goes through the motions of taking the order, and Auna's just kind of looking around this whole time, trying to take in all this information as you're retrieving the food, and staring at the like trying to like figure out exactly how many Merriment members are in this area, because there are quite a bit.
Auda, do you want anything?
No.
A drink? A snack? Popcorn?
Drink, snack, what? Corn?
Popcorn?
Popped corn. It's like
Why would
special.
you-
You like
Popcorn?
heat it up and then it like.
See what he's doing there with the purple.
Yeah, it's quite easy. Would you like butter on this? And it's like,
Yes,
yeah,
please.
like a lot,
Definitely.
please.
oh,
Like
okay.
so much.
No problem. And I was like, sorry, I just getting a little distracted.
Are you alright?
The air is so pleasant in here and everyone's so excited, but I can't help but notice that the people that were hunting us down just a few days ago were a little bit surrounded.
Well, it's alright. I mean, they don't know our faces, and so if nothing's happened yet, so let's just hope that nothing's going to happen.
Right,
Let's think positively. It's alright.
right.
It'll be
So
fine.
They don't know our identities.
They know my face.
Okay,
Well,
that's not
Right? Yeah. But like not in a bad way though. I don't think.
Not in a bad
It's
way.
fine.
That's good.
well, as nothing's happened yet, so
Yeah, we're-
obviously
we're-
not. We would know if people were after us already. I think.
Yeah.
One extra buttered popcorn right here.
thank you.
And a
And-
pretzel.
And drinks? What kind of drinks do you have?
Oh, we've got... And it lists off a bunch of drinks.
Okay.
Soft drinks?
We've got soft snail drinks, soft slime drinks.
Ew. God,
We got slush and slime if you'd like.
ew. No.
I'll take a slush.
It comes with the slime. You can't have it without the
We'll
slime.
get the
Right.
slime for Azra.
Is it? Yeah. Do you have like a raspberry, blue raspberry flavor? Or
Yeah, we
something
got
like
a blue raspberry blast slime coming
Perfect.
right up.
Sounds good.
It's gonna get slime.
I'll take one of those.
You see him. We're gonna move over to this machine that you've never really seen. It goes up and just kind of like it's kind of like a beer tap, and there's instead of beer, it's just like
I don't know.
fills with slime, and it's
Perfect.
like
That's perfect. Yeah.
it's refreshing.
Do you have any alcohol?
Of course, we've got alcohol.
I'll take a large ale.
Large ale coming right up. No slime.
No slime.
Makes his way.
That one's
fills
for me.
them all up. Eventually, you get all of your orders together, bring them back towards DeVille, who's kind of tapping his foot, and like he's kind of high strung during this period. Azra, you've noticed he's very high strung in this Coliseum as his eyes are darting back and forth across everything. This is before they walk up.
Are you okay?
Sorry, were you talking to me?
He looks over at, like, who's there? Dresden?
Yeah,
Is the other person
Dresden's literally just like yawning, like stretching and yawning. He's like, yeah, I think he's talking to you.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's over it.
Dresden.
Didn't like
yeah, I mean, sorry. Yeah. You look a little stressed.
A lot has changed. You know, the Witchwood Market. You know, when I first saw it, I knew that the Witchwood Market changes depending on who the current ferryman is. I didn't expect it to get this, I don't know, elaborate, robust. It's kind of a lot to take in. It's very different than I remembered it.
Okay, so, I mean, how different could it be? How much can they change?
Well, first of all, I don't recognize what any of these contraptions are, and sort of points up where you can see more of like these structures that are like antennas that are evenly spaced from each other, like hugging the walls, and then points over at concession stands, and it's like, in my time, it was just, you know, we had turkey legs roasting over fires and alcohol, and now look, and then you see people walking by with like popcorn and pretzels and gallon like these flagons of slime, and it's like, I don't even know what they're eating. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, it's okay. Things change.
I don't. I guess I'll adapt.
Do you want me to get you a turkey leg and some? You can like pretend.
I would, but it's purple. It's purple turkey. I've never eaten purple turkey.
Why is it purple?
I don't know. I can't answer these questions for you. I'm looking at it. It's staring at me. I feel like it has eyes and it's looking right back at me into my soul.
You know, honestly, I don't think you should eat the purple turkey either. I don't even eat turkey, let alone purple turkey.
You see some guy just tearing into a purple turkey leg.
Is it like purple on the inside too?
It's like a darker purple on the inside. It's weird.
What?
Yeah, it's just strange how this is all happening.
I've seen Stranger Things.
Yeah, I know.
Seen weird
But in this case, for DeVille, for some reason, he's drawing the line at this purple turkey leg. It's like, I don't.
I've had enough.
Well, how about you pretend that you've just never been here before, and then that way you don't seem as freaked out. Pretend like it's a brand new place.
You're right. I'm coming into this with the pressure of. He points over at the statue of himself towering over there on the side, and people taking pictures next to it, going like, you see like one person get up there and just like, and then like do like a kissy face towards it, and you should be like, hey, get off the statue, get off the statue. And
got stands.
That worries me. And that,
I mean, you were just popular, apparently.
no, it's not the popularity, it's the sport. I feel like it's grown since I last have been here, and I don't want to get you all into something dangerous without me even realizing.
Well, that's why we're here, right? To see what's been going on while you've been gone.
You're right. I mean, it's snag racing. It's racing snails through a course. How much could it have changed?
Famous last words.
You all walk up at this point with your everything you have. Yes.
I got my big popcorn bucket. While I'm walking back, are there any like little trinket places? Like, I'm thinking like ESPN Wide World of Sports, where they've got like the buttons and stuff.
Yeah, they have like the lanyards and like the buttons and like the things with your name on them.
Oh my god. I'm gonna buy a little button for Renair because I know he would have liked it.
You buy a little button. What do you look for exactly?
I don't know. Just
anything?
a generic.
DeVille's face on it.
DeVille's face.
You see,
I will look for it but I won't buy it. But I'll look for a DeVille theme.
Buy it anyway.
a DeVille theme.
I'll buy it.
They have
funny.
They have like a bunch of stuff that just have like previous champions on there. And DeVille, in all of any merchandise that you've seen here, is always like a little off. Like he's a little like more
So funny.
I'm gonna buy it.
he literally is like a little more sharp than like he actually is in real life. And he's a little bit more like eccentric, where he's like, yeah,
Like protagonist hero.
yeah,
like-
protagonist hero,
That is
like
so
doing
funny.
like poses and stuff
Oh my God.
and such on the merchandise. So you can find like a little thing with like choose your favorite champion, and DeVille's there
Oh.
on
there's
top
one-
of his lightning, like his lightning snail, doing like a wild pose on top of it, like a bow or something.
I'm gonna buy the button, Lidar's gonna buy the button, and
Okay.
she's also gonna buy is there you said what else is there?
There's like lanyards that
Okay.
have like, Salankari designs based off of the famous
Anything
snails that
Deville
everyone
specific?
raised.
Just a button.
There's so much.
Oh my God.
Specific. All the way down to like a replica of his helmet.
Oh
That
my
he used to
God,
have.
that's
Lidar is
so
gonna grab the
funny.
button, and she's also gonna grab like a T-shirt. But she's just gonna be I'll take the shirt and the button, please. Thank you.
I gotta think of his like what his catchphrase was.
Ciao.
You know those like number one dad, number one sister,
Number one snag racer.
Is there a number one boyfriend?
At the snag racing tournament.
The snag racing tournament.
You know how they have
It's like my boyfriend is the number one. Is the snag racer (parentheses in my heart).
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what it is. There's a T-shirt. There's some really bad ones, yeah,
Nice.
that are just like this.
Vincent's looking at it and he's like, he is.
Lidar gives him a side glance. He's like,
It's
I'm
for
so-
Renair. For when he's better.
yeah,
You know,
I'm sure he'll love it.
I think he would like it too. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get the button and the T-shirt, please.
Yeah, and you are able to go through and purchase the merchandise. I'm going to say that you have it's not a ton of money to do so, but they are making quite a bit. You can see like there's a bunch of little kids that are wearing like the different helmets based off their favorite snag racer, including some of the snag racers that are going to be racing today. You see a lot of people wearing like these purple helmets that have like this kind of like fuzz, like boa feather and fuzz around it, and like horns at the top, and a bunch of kids walking around. There's only like a couple people, and they're usually a little bit older if they have Lightning Starsong merchandise. But you come walking up, and
The Lidar will kind of like roll up the T-shirt into like a little little ball, and like have the button, and she'll walk up next to Azram and kind of like slip it to him. It's like, I got something for you.
you all ready? You all satisfied? And
Yeah.
looking at Aona carrying the drinks and starts passing them out. and
Oh,
it's like,
Azram, I got this for you.
yeah, this one's yours.
What the fuck is that?
It's their number one delicacy, I think.
It's slush.
And
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's like
supposed to be really good.
Blue raspberry.
thick slushy that's like transparent almost. It's unsettling a little bit to look at, but
It's
you see that
probably kinda
other
good.
people are drinking this too.
What is it made out of?
I don't know. Slush?
Slush and
Slime?
slime, I think is what they said.
But it's
Like-
blue raspberry.
Slime, like from the snail? Like, did they take the slime from the snail?
Possibly.
Is
I mean, it might
Is that
be
something-
edible. Yeah.
Dresden's like, is that something you can do?
Possibly.
And she feels like it's quite healthy actually, and tasty in the right circumstances.
You've
Not that
eaten snail slime?
not straight off the snail.
I've kissed you and you've eaten snail slime?
Not in that order. It wasn't anytime recently, but when you know,
As in,
people
there are a lot of
drink the
places.
slime.
There are a lot of places in the world with different cuisines, and you should just be open to trying new things.
Well, I don't want to eat it if it's snail slime.
It's not really a cultural thing. It's more of like people can, it fucks you up a little bit.
Fucks you up.
What?
What does that mean?
It's
Is it alcoholic?
It is.
What
Well,
the
back
fuck?
in my
What?
day, so the slime of a Salankari when consumed has a lot of the same effects of alcohol.
What? I think we should try it.
You should try it.
I'll try
What
it.
if you like it?
Will you try it if I try it?
Azram wouldn't eat it because he's vegan. He wouldn't eat snail.
Oh, it's an animal product. That's true. It's an animal product.
That's why Azram's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Oh my god. Oh, shit. Well, does anyone else want it?
Yeah, try
Deville?
it.
Dresden, I think you should try it.
Deville seems
You
to
think
like
I
the
should
fucking-
try it?
Yeah, I think you should try it.
You seem to fucking like looking snails so much.
It's not bad. I'll try. Hey, I'll show you. And he kind of
I really want Dresden to try it. I think you should try it, Dresden.
you see him like tip the tankard towards him for a little bit, and then he's like, and it's just like. He's like, "Oh, it's a little thick today. He's like chewing honey. He's like,
Oh,
Ew.
delicious. Just, I should remember it.
Dresden, your
Dresden, your turn.
Just his eyes are wide.
Come
Just
on.
like,
I dare you.
Bill's like, it's good dress. Please try. It's very good. And you dare me?
I double dog dare you, dude.
I also-
You double dog dare me?
double dog dare you.
You're throwing the double dog in
You
there?
have to do it.
What are you, a little pussy?
Because
You
I
scared
said
of
so.
it?
I'm not
I don't see
scared
what the
of it.
problem is. I'll try it too. I'll eat anything.
I said I was gonna try it.
Sure.
He's like doing the same thing where he's like, is there like a spoon? Or I'm just gonna.
Just lick it.
If you don't,
Use your mouth.
You
Germs.
see his tongue kind of go out.
just
try
do
to-
it.
Not your tongue.
Oh, it's blue raspberry. It's coating the inside of our mouth. It's not bad actually. And you see Deville and Adjnor are kind of like chewing on this a little bit, and they're like both suddenly like a little calmer.
Give me it. I would like to try.
Please, pretty good actually.
What were you rolling for?
Yeah, go ahead and make a Constitution saving.
All right. What is this concoction you have given us?
Like
Well, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, Vincent takes it and he's
It's
like,
actually
poisoned by that one guy. Yeah, it's me.
It's me.
14.
14. The texture's the weirdest part. It is like kind of like honey, like really sticky. It's pretty sweet, but the alcohol in it the alcohol-like nature does kind of help offset that a little bit. The blue raspberry definitely comes through, a little artificial, definitely very artificial, but you kind of, just from a little taste, feel this feeling of like calmness and weird calmness that you're just full body like things are great. I don't drink. I've decided I'm not gonna drink. So go ahead and I don't want any slime. Aona says.
I'm with Aona.
Well, I also got an ale for myself, so anyone else, you can have the rest of it. I don't want it.
I think honestly that is what I needed. That is quite good. Maybe they've made it quite good over the years. I do not remember it being this.
Does everyone
Oh.
seem different to me?
Deville, who was like literally like wound up to the point like if one bad thing happened, he'd probably snap in half, is now like loose and a little relaxed. Not overtly so that it's like huge, but it's like Deville is the person you would notice it in the most because just moments ago he was like on the verge of like completely shutting down, and now he's like very calm.
Azram, I think you should actually put on what I gave you.
Azram hasn't looked at it yet, and he like unfolds it, and he's like,
What is that?
"Nothing. I'll be right back." And Azram runs to the bathroom.
It's a surprise.
As you all are waiting for Azram, you kind of, Aona kind of shoulders you a bit, Lidar, and just like, hey, Clive, as you see kind of walking towards you from further in the hallway, is a merriment figure in what looks to be a red mask. As Deville says, I think this is either good or bad. I'm not entirely sure yet. He doesn't look to be drawing any weapons of any sort. They kind of approach. You hear a voice from the other end. He sort of looks at this. Lightning Starsong? That's me, yes. Are these all of your companions for the viewing platform? Yes. Well, we're missing one, as there's all of a sudden a very tense atmosphere that takes this small group.
Lidar's kind of like shying away her face just in case.
Yeah. Looking at the mask up close and not being chased, it's very similar to the violet mask of the person who was chasing you. The Feywalker is what they were called. But it's just this intricate porcelain design, much more intricate than the other members of the Merriman. And you can't see the eyes behind it. It just kind of looks stoically down. And, he's flanked by two other Merriman members who are just standing there. So not being able to see the eyes, you just feel like heat coming from that area as there is silence before Azram walks up.
Azram comes running back. On the way back, he saw where you guys got them from and tried to buy everything that was Devon related. He has the helmet on.
The helmet, the lanyard.
He found some shorts that have like lightning bolts down the side. Some socks that like come up to his knees.
Oh my god. His socks are like stretched out. It's like DeVille's face. But DeVille looks at us like,
Oh my god.
But then he like runs up, sees the Ferryman. He's like, oh.
Everyone's just staring. The
Wide-eyed.
porcelain masks all just staring.
Lidar looks at him wide-eyed.
Vincent starts laughing.
Make like a just charisma check at this point in time.
Vincent's losing his mind.
20.
20. You see one of the merriment members flanking the one in the red mask just go like, and the red mask kind of turns slightly and you see them straighten up really quickly.
I'm just a really big fan of Lightning Starsong.
I can see that. Where did you get all of this?
The gift shop.
This is everyone, sir. And the master replies, Faywalker, Artemis, you can call me. As right this way, please. And they begin to lead you over towards a sort of. It's so hard to describe things that exist in the real world, but probably would not be something. It's okay. He leads you towards something that looks like it operates kind of similar to the device in Weldon, like an elevator, basically, like a tube-shaped elevator that's got these like glass walls and kind of filters you all into it. Just right this way.
We're all cramming in this tiny
You're all cramming in.
elevator, like
It closes.
the tension.
This is elevator music. As you all standing there, you see the Faywalker. He pulls down a lever, and the elevator just begins rising.
Got a little popcorn.
You guys want some popcorn?
This is a crunch.
Did you put butter on the popcorn?
Yeah,
So
there's lots
much
of butter.
There's a lot
I
of
fucking
butter.
hate you guys.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Didn't even think
it's okay.
about it.
We're horrible
I-
friends.
I remembered. I got you. Doesn't have butter
Thanks.
on
I don't know.
it. Anna hands it to you. It's no problem.
My brother.
Silent in the elevator. The Faywalker's just standing.
Azram's
you want
nomming
some?
silently on a pretzel in his Lightning Starsong gear.
You see that for a while it's just like surrounded by marble walls on the other side, so you can't see anything. These walls of the elevator are
Are
glass.
they gonna kill us in here?
But eventually, not yet, but
Yet.
Yeah.
eventually, you see light towards the top. You see light towards the top of the elevator as it just. And you are treated to a full view of the Colosseum. It is a massive structure with fully seats filled throughout the entirety. There's truly a massive sort of weight to the size of the Colosseum. You know how it would be structured like a sports stadium, kind of the tiered seating and the different chairs, etc., with a large area at the top that looks to be like for what would be considered box seating or like a VIP platform area for people to sit. That's probably where you are heading. You can see, as well as more of those like antennas, though much larger. They're like equally spaced. I'd say there's a lot of them. I'm trying to think of the exact number, but there are these antennas that poke out from the very top of the Colosseum.
I'm imagining that they look like eye stalks. like eye stalks? Like snail
Like eye
stalks?
stalks.
Like antennas?
That's exactly what they look like. They look like eye stalks. It looks great, but they have
That's
like,
what I thought.
That's
meant.
perfect. Yeah, they're like eye stalk antennas that kind of raise up and surround the perimeter of like the very top. And every seat here is filled. Like the whole place is packed, and you can hear from the outside just the being assailed by the sound of cheers.
Damn.
And kind of what I described earlier, you get to see it for the first time. It's usually what DeVille has been kind of talking about, and anytime you've asked him about what snag racing courses are like or like what it looks like, it's like, oh, they build a course, then there's like a course that takes up the entire middle, and it's usually like fairly decked out with obstacles and things like that. In this one, there's just like a straight line, just one road, and there's like a marble like portal on one end and a marble portal on the other end.
Interesting.
And there's no course. There's no like huge course around here at all whatsoever. As DeVille kind of sees this for the first time, and you see his eyes kind of go wide. What is happening? This place certainly has changed.
And nope, you've never been here before.
You're right. Wow, this place is so cool. The fear, you hear it shaking in his
Take another
voice.
swig of the...
Give me some more slime,
Where's
please.
the track?
I don't know. Where do they race?
Do you think it's outside of here? Do you think they like start here and then go outside?
I don't know.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Ding. Hey there, softies. It's me, Christian, with the break. Thank you for listening to episode 51 of Soft Pod. We are back from our break and ready to start the new arc. The newest arc in the Moonlighters saga, that is. I'm actually currently in the process of renaming and recategorizing everything under arcs and sagas. So the first part of our podcast is the Weldon saga, and then the second part is now the Moonlighters saga. It's all a big old thing, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. So eventually we'll have our playlists fixed. That's the point of this statement. First off, we have an amazing announcement from our friends over at Dungeon Depths. That's right, Dungeon Depths has done it again and created another amazing giveaway item. Right now, you can head on over to our social media to enter to win a Salankari tray, a snail tray, or a snay, if you will. You can use it as a shelf too, because it's got little shelfy area things. It's very, very cute. It's beautiful, actually, in the Moonlighter colors. So if you'd like to win one and see what you enter in to win, go on and head over to our social media and check out the rules to win the giveaway. It's quite appropriate for this arc. If you're sitting there and you're like, I got no idea who Dungeon Depths is, well, let me tell you. Dungeon Depths is your one-stop shop for quality gaming supplies with character. We're talking dice trays, apparel, softpod merch. They have it all. And it's all guaranteed quality. You can head over to their shop at shopdungeondepths.com and use the code SOFTPOD at checkout, SOFPOD, for 10% off of your order. So, thank you to Dungeon Depths for sponsoring the show. You know, I really wish, though, that I could actually see what's down there in the depths of the dungeon. Oh well, maybe another time. This show is also sponsored by Roll20. You can find them over at roll20.net. Roll20 is a virtual tabletop software that you can use to run your games from anywhere in the world. Thank you, Roll20. This show is also sponsored by you, the viewer, on Patreon. You can head on over to patreon.com/thestringsofFate to support us on Patreon. We are working on a lot of content for the Patreon right now. Me especially, I am writing some things that I think will be very fun and Patreon exclusive. But any financial support we really appreciate because it helps us keep the show running. I will now take a moment to read some of the honorary Bard patrons that help keep this show running. Thank you to Ezra Depp, Cedar Kilcrease, Marland, Morgan, Remy, Emily W., Devon Morrissey, Essek, and Melanie. Thanks so much, y'all. If you haven't already, come on and join the Softcord. Right now we are listening to this episode, if you are listening on the Friday that it's coming out, live. We all gather together, Mary makes bingo. It's such a nice and wonderful time to be with the Softies. You can find the link to the Softcord in the link tree below. Well, I think that about wraps it up for me. Time for me to be hitting the old dusty trail and let you get back to the episode. Don't forget to leave us a rating as well as liking the video on YouTube and subscribing to the channel, as well as maybe commenting. That's interesting. I didn't know there was a door there. I am gonna go check that out really quickly. I guess that's all for this break. Bye. Looking down at the Colosseum, you have a view of like the entirety of it. As you are led, the doors open into what looks to be a VIP area. This place has a lot of the same decorations with the pale marble, but there's far less people here, and the people that are here look important. There are people that are dressed in like royal clothing. There are people that are dressed in like suits, and
With like Azra.
Azrum's got like
Ezra walks up.
airbrushed, like these airbrushed like t-shirts.
The number one DeVille fan.
Got a helmet on.
You have like one of those foam like fingers that says like,
He's
like
got
on Snag
a
race.
light. He's got a light stick.
Yeah, you got a little beer hat on as you are walking in. You know, people turn to look, obviously, as they walk back this way, please. Your booth is right down this way. You are led past these different booths and areas that have been cordoned off for parties. You see people who have like, like the equivalent of like hosts and hostesses, etc., that sort of thing. Just people hired to like talk to them and like boister the party, champagne towers on tables, etc. And more of those eye stalk antennas that are like lined up on the walls, etc. As well as like a railing that goes all the way around that you can like lean over and look over at the actual arena, until eventually you're led to your own booth, which is just like a very nicely upholstered the square couches, etc. The conversation pit,
Conversation
as it were.
fits.
You were led there and just kind of guided and said, and Feywalker, Artemis looks over and kind of snaps his finger, and you see you see what looks to be like a mouse folk person in like one of those purple jumpsuits come up, and Feywalker Artemis says, Lightning Starsong and his guests are to be waited on to the best of your ability. You understand? And you hear the voice say, "You got it, boss." And Ladara, you recognize the voice as you see this sort of gray mouse folk sort of turn and just go wink at you.
Ladara's mouth is like drops, and she's like,
And Feywalker Artemis says, "Please enjoy the rest of your festivities." And walks off with the merriment as Chester, in this like small, pudgy humanoid form in this jumpsuit, sort of walks up. You see that, you can see more of the details. Like he's got like ear that has like a piece like bitten off of it, and he's got like this kind of ratty fur. And Luke says, "Well, good to see you all again."
"How?
Again?
What? You?
Oh,
Chester?
That's right. You couldn't understand me before. Chester,
The rat?
the mouse. Excuse you. I like to go by mouse in this form. You see, Granny can't come into the Witchwood Market, but they can't stop a little mouse from coming in. And in this form, I have a way with words. Granny helps me out, get into places, etc. No one bats an eye at a mouse folk here. It's great.
Ladara's mouth is still hanging open, and she's like, "Good to see ya."
It's good to see you too. It's good to talk to you all. Hey, you! And looks at Auda and is about to say,
Whoa,
"Listen,
whoa.
you need."
Whoa,
I was like,
stop with the tone.
I just got so excited because I was saying a bunch of stuff that I think could really help him hygienically. But,
Oh my god.
anyways.
Coming from a mouse.
I keep myself clean.
All right.
we were fighting a lot that day.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay,
There was a lot that was going on.
I'm your-
Sorry that, just leave him alone.
It's okay. I'm your ally here. I'm your man on the inside. All right? If there's anything you need to know about anything, or you need, access to some of the other areas here, I can help you a little bit.
I thought we were just watching a snag race.
I guess you never know.
Thought we were too. And Chester looks over and says, You are. You're not going to do anything untoward. You can keep your profiles undercover, but just in case you need something, you see, and Chester kind of like reaches into his coat, and he kind of has like a piece on his gun, just in case you need something.
My God,
Granny said to watch out for her son.
Chester's a fucking mob boss.
I appreciate the help.
He's so short too.
Baby.
He's like literally 3 feet tall. He's got a gun.
Nice. Wow.
Strapped.
Not baby.
Did you know that the rat was coming?
No, I didn't know. We didn't mention any of this. We're not.
If we need him, he's there, I guess.
I got you.
Just don't put it away.
Yeah, we really don't need him.
I'm not gonna use it.
Don't
but
let
if I
anyone
had
see
to
it. Come
use it, I would in a heartbeat.
Oh, I
because you're
believe you.
friends of Granny, and I've killed before.
All right.
I'll do it again.
And I'll do it again.
All right. Let's
You seem a little excited.
we should still sit down.
Yeah, please. Let me get you some drinks. All right. I got cover here. Granny has me come here to, keep an eye on things, even though she's not allowed to, go and do that. I haven't gone yet, but long cover, that sort of
Right.
thing. Please take a seat. I'll go get you some drinks.
Before she sits down in the dark, probably gonna casually take a sweep around the perimeter and just see if anything's off, see if anything's watching us, see if anything's weird.
Sure. Make a perception check.
25.
You are kind of making your perimeter, making your way around, not around the entirety, but at least the general area. And you can see that there are nobles and there are people who are business people. They're all dressed in different garb. Some people from the Borealis, so it's a little bit more
Rich people.
Yeah, some people are from the Borealis, and they have a very distinct style with a lot of furs and a lot of very nicely made clothes, whereas Varen people are much more ornamented and wearing much more modern clothes. And then on Syrians, who are here to party and to not be mad about magic, are wearing royal medieval clothing, etc. What did you say? You got 27?
25.
25. You can see that there is somebody that isn't Merriment looking at your table.
Great.
It's just in sort of older gentleman, much older. He's very old, and he's surrounded by what look to be younger nobles as well, who are trying to cheer him up. But his eyes are focused as the nobles chat up the conversation people that were sent to keep them company, and he is staring
What the fuck?
Ew.
at Vincent.
Oh God.
That's the only off vibe thing you get from this area.
Ooh.
But there is
What now?
just this very uncomfortable look, and Vincent hasn't noticed this yet because there's just so much going
Vincent
on.
feels really out of place. He's kind of just sitting in the conversation pit.
It's getting to the
a
point
little
of
too fancy.
overstimulated at
Yeah.
this point.
Lidar will walk over to Auna and just kind of nudge him a little bit. See that man over there in the corner? He's watching us. Just keep an eye on him.
You got it. Keep an eye on him. And Auna just kind of looks over at that individual who's just it's not this, it's just this kind of over a glass, just scowl. There's a little bit of confusion and a little bit of
Did we get a description on this old guy, or?
The description is that he's
Just
this
old?
very decrepit looking old noble man. He's got like this pasty white skin that's like full of wrinkles, and his hair is thin at the top, and his eyes are tired. You know, he's covered. He's like a thin frame covered in thick clothing, like thick, very expensive looking clothing.
Interesting.
But he's just kind of sitting and staring.
But then I'll just sit down and, try to act normal.
DeVille sort of takes a load off and says, I don't know what's going on here anymore. Everything's different. Everything's new. But we have some time before the race starts. Here. Everyone, let's just try and get acquainted with our surroundings. You know how to get back up here. Don't get into trouble. Trouble finds you sometimes. But now could be a good time to just get an idea for what we may be facing tomorrow, to learn more about, what we'll be dealing with, as well as to possibly, we have a lot of what looks to be very important people around us, so we could also possibly learn more about some of our other goals, etc. Information gathering. You seem to be quite adept at that.
I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to talk to any nobles.
Yes, that's fine.
So,
Do you know any of these people, DeVille? Like, should you show face a little bit? We can go talk to some people and keep your reputation alive. You do have a lot of connections that maybe it might be important for you to keep.
It's, at this point, I really don't want to mix any of my business from Cineath into here, and then I also don't need the worlds colliding. People haven't really put together the whole Lightning Starsong is also DeVille Starsong, who is now trying to rebuild the Zentarum on the western coast of Afra thing. I don't want to do business, but at the same time, there's quite... I would be surprised if there wasn't something useful to get out of some of these people here, or at least something to figure out about our competition tomorrow.
And there's no one here that, any of us would recognize? There's no, from...
Is Yarlaxle here?
Oh, my God.
Oh my god.
I'm going to lose a fucking mind if he is.
You don't know. This actually does seem like... That's, one of the first thoughts that would across your mind is, this is a place that Yarlaxle would just, blend in.
Yeah, he'd just find a way.
He'd be in here somewhere. Even if he doesn't show
Just
up,
for
he
the
could
snack.
just be
We're all
here.
I love the slime.
We're like, which one?
He's on his fourth mug of slime.
Somewhere.
No, we're literally
Somewhere.
Yarlaxle, you're in here somewhere?
Just come out.
Hey, out. Hey, you're
Just come on out.
He'll show up.
Yeah.
If he sees us,
he'll know.
He'll come to say hi.
Okay, but no one. I meant from the ball. I guess if there's anybody that
No, I think all that.
Oh, from
Did
the
they all
ball.
die?
Oh, they.
They did. A lot of them did die.
What about that one dude,
Apollo.
Apollo? Is Apollo here?
Oh my god.
Actually, let me roll something.
Oh my god.
Because I did canonically say that Apollo, because of where he was,
He made it out.
There's a chance he could have lived because he was just
Oh my God.
he was knocked out somewhere completely separate, in a bathroom or something, or even it would have even been before that. He would have been knocked out somewhere else. He Jarlaxle saved his life basically by knocking him out.
New love interest.
That'd be crazy.
Another one?
You genuinely don't know anything about this person.
Where is he at?
Roll a d100. Someone roll a d100 for
Who
me.
has the best luck?
Nah.
Who's the best luck? You want to get a low roll on this one.
You feeling lucky?
Oh, low? Give it to
Michaela's
me.
got it.
Yeah, I think she got it.
You want
Watch,
to
you're gonna roll
get
a 100.
underneath a certain percentage, so.
55.
Oh.
55.
You don't see anyone that looks like Apollo.
Wait,
You
let me
can
roll
keep
again.
rolling. You roll again just to see.
3.
3 is crazy. 3 is a crazy roll.
Oh my god. What do we get for that?
So I'm gonna cut the other one, Christian, and so you can't tell me that I failed because in the podcast.
She is the audio editor.
I'll give you something on a 3 that's not Apollo. I'm gonna try and think of
Something fun and fresh.
something fun and fresh. I need to think
and
on
quirky.
who it would be, but you for now you can't really ascertain if there's anyone here. There's just so many people. It's not as crowded as it was downstairs, but there certainly is quite a group of people here. And you kind of, for a moment, are sort of sat in silence, waiting on Chester to come back with the drinks, waiting on what to do next, as DeVille is kind of tapping his foot nervously, sipping slime and calming down, and then a few seconds later going back to tapping. And DeVille's been kind of hitting the slime a little bit.
Hitting the slime.
Yeah, it's pretty. And, Dresden has also been reaching over like, hey, give me that. Like, don't hog it all for yourself.
I think we
They're
can
kind of-
get more slime if you guys want it.
I like
That would be
we
great.
can get
Can
you
we
a
get more
whole
slime, please? Someone.
snail.
Chester, can we? And Chester's walking over with bottles of champagne and
my
stuff,
God.
and like
Don't call him by his name. We're not supposed to know him like that.
Sir.
Okay, yeah, you just call me whatever at this point. And he says he kind of puts down trays of like really nice hors d'oeuvres and champagne. It's like, it's on the house. It's for the living legend, according to upper management. Yeah,
But management.
Should I change, you think?
No, absolutely not.
It's such a funny image.
Absolutely not. You should
But you-
exactly stay like that.
All are sitting there kind of waiting as you're being served, keeping an eye on that noble, keeping an eye on everything. And you hear like this kind of like as you see the eye stalks just kind of turn so that they're making eye contact with
God,
each
that's
other,
terrifying.
like looking at the space, just kind of, and there's like this projection of an image there, as you see like an overview of the entire arena that is here. The crowd kind of goes silent, and you look up and you see the large antennas, the large eye stalks have also like are projecting this huge, enormous image that just like takes the sky, basically. Like the entirety of the roof is just covered. The open air like is covered in this image of the arena. You hear just like horns start to blast and drums start to play as over a loud speaker, you just that echoes throughout the entirety of the Coliseum here. Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between here, we ready to rumble? And echoing out, everyone's just crying out in these screams in cheers. Are you ready for some snag racing to the death?
Death?
I'm sorry. Did he just say death?
Do people actually die?
Yeah, people die sometimes. Chester's
That's
just
not the
kind
point, though.
of. Chester's kind of. People die on the track. It's something that happens, and just, people die. I didn't realize it wasn't really like the focus of the sport
Right.
was people dying. It was
But now
usually
it seems
the
like-
pageantry, and people are like cheering for that, like just like.
I see. This is sort of a brutal sort of sport here.
So we have to win.
Hunger
I don't think they're gonna kill everyone, right? Just as, no, they're not gonna kill everyone, but people. The point of it is, to kill and or be killed. That's
The
what.
point of it was to race, right?
Yeah, that's part of it, to be first, but also, I mean, how flashy you do it. It's a whole thing. As the announcer continues onwards, as
Today, we will make snag racing history as we decide the challengers to face a snag racing legend who will appear on the track tomorrow for the Champions Cup. But for now, these snag racers have battled and murdered their way to the top.
This is brutal.
and now. Yeah, it's very brutal.
Oh my god.
All for this night. Let us introduce your would-be champions. Coming out in the first slot, we have Shelly, Speed, and the Slimy Demons.
Says you see like a snail team just dripping with slime.
Wow.
That like sizzles as it touches
Okay.
the ground off of their jumpsuits. Shelly herself is tall with these beady eyes and this like sickly blue racing jumpsuit and blue hair to match that just turns into slime towards the bottom and just like flows down into like a coat of slime atop a very like extra moist snail just kind of rides out from a tunnel that rises from the ground level and just pulls into first place.
In the second slot, we
Got it.
Miss Shell and the S-Car Ghost.
As flying out, just a ghostly pale team of racers. The snail itself, similar to like a specter with these sharp green accents. Miss Shell is this like cross between Gothic and Southern Belle, wearing like black and white, culminating in like a very like sharp scythe that she holds in her right hand as she like rides the reins outward.
Oh my god, incredible.
I can't believe Michelle was the first one to get a soft button PC named after
Miss.
And she sounded hot as shit.
It was something I thought of, and I was like, wait a second, this is Michelle.
Miss Shell.
I was like, that's crazy. Anyways,
Sukret and the Swirling Dervish.
and a snail team with all these spiraling insignias rides out. There are wheels on the side of this snail that have like spikes that just like spin at a rapid pace. And Sukret has this like golden swirl at the top of their head. It's like reminiscent of like a tornado that just like flies outward as they ride into place. You're slowly realizing, and they give you like a zoom in on these like monitors, that like Geronimo Johnson was like the normal thing here. Like, you're the weird ones here. Everyone looks a little bit like Geronimo Johnson on the Snag racing course.
Wow.
Isaac Ignition and the Little Sluggies.
As firing up from the tunnel, you see a flaming team of Snag racers, just fire decals all over the snail. A fire genasi at the helm of this snail, outfitted in blazing red. He has like these metal pauldrons that are like, it's as if they've had heat metal cast on them. They're just like burning red hot. And his body is like, his jumpsuit is like bound in like leather and chains and such. And his hair is just these orange spikes that just go straight up.
And a mystery in the Snag racing world. This racer came out of nowhere this season with a secret identity. What? Racing all the way to rival even Geronimo Johnson himself. That's right, the Masked Rider and Mayhem.
As a small, every one of these teams has come out like all together. You know, they have a whole pit crew. They've got like people hanging off the sides of the snails, etc. There's a smaller Salankari that just kind of rides past, and you see like atop that Salankari is only one person. There's no team behind them at all. A relatively like smaller, lithe figure atop a snail of like shimmering starlight. A mask, unlike the ones you've seen in the Merriment, their mask is fit for like a masquerade and reminiscent of like the cosmos in terms of its theming, like sun and moon and stars. Their outfit is simple, just a cape reminiscent of like the night sky atop a darker toned outfit, as they just ride into place silently. And they have the least like flourish. They just get into place and are ready to race. You can see like their hair is like this minty green that just like is like cut short and flowing backwards from beneath their cloak, just kind of as they pull it back up on top of their head and just kind of look forward.
And lastly, the People's Champion, the most likely to usurp the throne of our champion tomorrow, Geronimo Johnson and the Geronimo Monsters.
As there's like a whole shift in atmosphere. You see a whole section of the crowd like pull up like these purple glow sticks and are just like like a wave. Yeah, like a wave of purple just takes the entire audience as
Is that where the popcorn's purple?
it's kind of the people's champion.
That's why the turkey legs are purple?
Oh my
Specifically
God.
requested in garishly purple, and these on a somewhat fuzzy snail wearing matching sunglasses to him. The snail is you see Geronimo Johnson in his Snag racing outfit, a tight purple racing jumpsuit with the outline of monsters just like chomping, bearing their fangs outward. And around his neck, there's like a feathery boa that just like hangs off of him.
Wow.
As he just waves to the crowd. And just this like finger guns to the crowd and blowing kisses, and people are like, oh, fainting.
Oh my god.
As they see him, and Deville's like, I don't remember. People didn't really do that back then. This is much more. I guess it was about the pageantry at some point, but huh.
So that's the person that you guys met with.
Azram's like at the rails screaming.
He's like, what?
You're the only person in the lounge. You're all in Deville fan clothes, and you scream for Geronimo Johnson, who's like, you see on the screen, there's like camera angles, shots of like straight up shots of like these Snag racers like right up next to them. Geronimo Johnson like looks down at the camera, is like, this one's for all my fans out there. I love you, and you know who you are in the audience. I'm coming for you, and I love you.
What the fuck?
I mean, cut that last.
And it's just the screen cut.
Chaos. I'm like, Deville, I think that one was for you.
I'm not gonna think about it. The opening ceremony sort of goes on, and the announcer sort of lines everyone up and saying,
Well, we ready for a clean race?
and there's like silence in the crowd before everyone bursts out laughing.
Like, oh, that's right. No, there are no rules. That's right. Except for one. Don't hurt the snail.
And everyone just kind of nods in agreement.
No aiming directly for another snail. Other than that, bodily harm, manipulation magic, it's all on the table.
There's no rules.
Literally.
There were
horrible.
no. There are rules. I mean, yes, there's attackers, but you had to knock them off the snail. You can't hurt them. You can cast, but it can't be what? And Deville's kind of just standing there as the Snag racers all line up,
Okay.
and you see silence take the crowd. On the last countdown, you see in the portals just they light up, and there is another place on the other end of these portals as the Snag racers all launch down the track, firing down this straight road, all gaining massive amounts of speed and all flying through the portal.